Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Virtue's Last Reward. So, on the flow, we made it to a to be continued, which basically means we need to get all the endings to figure out a password to get through this part, which just probably means one of these two paths is the perfect ending. Then we got to just a dead end by rewinding, and since that we rewound. So when we went through the secondary chromatic doors, we went through green here and a blue here. But oddly, there is an option somehow for a red. So it feels like once we have all of the keys that would give us that password, we might choose the red door and go down this path and get a different outcome. Good news though is going down this path we have been able to get into the escape room that is the rec room, and then we're probably going to go down this path and figure out that one of these is a dead end and that the other is going to be one of potentially 9 keys that we need to know. So we haven't done this room before, and at a certain level these will start to become the parts of the game that we could either fairly quickly skip, or the parts of the game that we could potentially speed through if the dialogue is the same. Let's see, we've got what's the deal with the screen over the pool table? I think it's a scoreboard. Okay, so we must be looking for a score. An outlet. Oh my god, this deer must have phased halfway through the wall and gotten stuck. How horrific. We're with Alice, she's back alive, and Kay. It's just a mounted head. It's a decoration. I did think that was extraordinary, that it had extraordinarily long legs. I feel like there's probably a camera in there also. So we have a jukebox that's not plugged in. Oh, how nostalgic. This is a jukebox. It plays old form of music known as a record. With a push of a few buttons you can listen to your favorite songs. Looks like it's not plugged in. There's an outlet over there, but I don't think the cable is long enough. It won't reach. Doesn't look like it. Guess we can't use the jukebox right now. Seemingly we have a record case that could have some records in it. There's a round indentation in the frame. So we're gonna have to get some records. Huh? Why won't it open? There's something in there, but we can't take it out if it won't open. Which, it seems like that's important. This is the door we came from. Should be a keyhole near the exit. Yeah, I know. We have the machine here, and we have another lion head. We've seen a lot of lions that have eaten the sun, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see a sun coin. So you're gonna put a coin in the slot in the mouth. It's an extension cord plugged in the ride, but I'm not sure why. But I mean, there's probably there so the ride can get powered. That's not what I mean. There's way too much slack. Doesn't look like the ride's power cable is long enough without the extension cord. Then let's take the extension cable with us. Don't forget to plug the ride back into the outlet. Oh yeah. So unless there was some trickery going on in this extension cable, then it seems fairly obvious they wanted us just to solve this by using the extension cord. So now we've got the extension cord plugged into the outlet also. Here's the safe with nothing to do. Here we have the lineup of some balls in a odd orientation. See, if this was supposed to be solids and stripes, like 8-ball, I don't think you orient it this way to start 8-ball with like a solid number 1 and then a number 9 stripe and then a number 14 stripe and then a solid 6 and a solid 2 and a solid 8. Yeah. We have a light switch which we'll have to turn off. And we know that they find luminol in here at some point. So there's a point for that. Here we have billiard balls which seem to have no color on them. Here we have a whole bunch of luminol, which we only found one in the game. Looked like these are all the same thing. Do you think we're supposed to pick the right bottle or something? Hope not. They all look exactly alike to me. Then just take whatever you want. Alright. Unless we're going to try and combine luminol with everything. Here we have a scrap of felt. Which... Presumably because it's been soaked in something. And we can look at everything too to get potentially some more dialogue, although I'm not sure any of these things are important. Reacts to certain things such as blood and glows very faint bluish white light, often used in forensic investigations. Huh? What are we supposed to do with this? Maybe you could spray it on the pool table. The pool table? Why? When I was examining it earlier, I noticed a few areas where it looked like it had been wiped off. If it was blood. Okay. Well, you also have a dart system. And seemingly an attempt here to get a score of 120. 20 times 1, 20 on the double ring for times 2, and 20 on the triple ring. That's not usually how darts are laid out. This is a different kind of dartboard. But we don't really know what score we're going for. It's difficult to say the least to get over to all of this. Looks like some sort of control panel. There's something written on the screen. Rectangle button turns the stage lights on and off. Circular button activates the armor. Okay. Now previously, in the previous game, we had seen a way in which you made a shadow moving things. There's a triangle in the middle of the circular button. I'm gonna push it. So you have like a full animation. The suit of armor swung its weapon. It was holding at the other suit shield. Interesting. This guy's holding a shield with glass on it. Doesn't it look like there's something under the glass? Yeah. It's hard to tell from here though. And we can't get to it as long as it's covered in glass. So... Here we have a lance. Its spear, more specifically, it's a charging spear used for horseback. Even more specifically, it's a lance. You can see the tip, how the tip is pointed. As you may surmise, it's primarily a piercing weapon. Where we also have a double-bladed axe. And we could swap those around. This guy over here has a pull cue. This guy over here. I wanted to take the trident. I did not want to use the pull cue. Can we see anything here? It says score 91. It's best I can figure. Can we do anything with this? Now we need coins, and we would need a code. Just like everything about this is seemingly more complicated than it probably needed to be. Alright, let's look at the point here. Pool table, huh? Looks like a piece of cloth has been torn off. Well, let's swap our items and put the cloth back on. Looking at the piece of felt I see. Yeah, I was trying to fit it into the bare spot of the pool table, and there. And then let's just luminol the whole surface. And then let's go turn the lights off. And let's see what this tells us. Alright. Now we can look around, and it's so dark in here I'm not even sure what I'm touching. Ah. Okay, what was that noise? I definitely haven't broken anything. You sure? Aye. What are you doing, Alice? Please don't accidentally break something valuable. You want to talk. I guess it's dangerous to fumble around in the dark. See, we can see their shadows, which might mean something. But otherwise, it doesn't seem like there's anything else to see. So we have CAFDBE. Which, unless these are glowing, I don't know what we're really supposed to be spelling here. Pool table seems the natural place to use pool balls. No, it's too dark. I don't know what might happen. You better turn the lights on before I put the balls out. Okay. Well, we saw the letters. In this room in particular, unlike any of the other previous escape rooms, there's a lot of times I've run into already where I've had to not have anything in my inventory. And I think it is also worth mentioning, we have like these 5 squares marking around the inventory circle, and if that's just an artistic decision, I don't understand it. Yeah, looks like they were written before in something that reacted with luminol. They appear to be the letters A through F. No pattern that I can see though. I don't know how you could get a hexadecimal value just with A through F though. I mean, I could certainly do that, I suppose. When I have to remember this. A would be 10, and then I feel like what we'd have to do is switch to this and then pull up a memo, and let's see if we can just draw how we would want this to be. We'll just draw it straight. So we have an A, a D, and an E, and then this is B, and this is F, and this has to be C. And since we only have 2 memos we can make, we have to now start squeezing more answers on the same one page. I am less interested now to try and see everything, so like clicking on this lock and potentially getting dialogue seems like it's not likely in this game, unlike the previous game, to actually trigger any kind of conversation. Where in the first game there were definitely conversations in the escape room that were important conversations that gave us keys towards getting the final perfect ending. There are those balls from the kids show, right? If you collect 7 of them, you get a wish. So she thinks they're Dragon Balls, which, knowing that Alice is like a Egyptian princess, I don't know how she would know that, but not know billiards first. But then there's more than twice that here. Oh, then it's a set of billiard balls. Then, look, I think it's probably a hint. Just grab it and bring it with you. So we now have another poster in the archives. Do we have any luminol left? Let's grab some more luminol if I can. I already took one, but maybe I should grab another. No, I don't think so. If we really need a one, just come back, right? So the game literally won't let you take another one. What does this screen say? Automatic scoreboard, nice. We had some darts, we could play a game or two. We don't have any darts though. And I bet the darts are in this area. Let's see what happens if this time. Ah, the shield. The glass is broken. We can get the thing out of the shield, right? Let's grab it. Now we have an Allen wrench. What do we use the Allen wrench for, though? This doesn't feel like an Allen wrench would open this. Is there possibly a way we could get a coin? Let's check this to make sure this opens. Alright, so we have an Allen wrench we have no idea how to use. Doesn't seem we zoom in on the wall. So the only thing I think we do then is now place the billiard balls and see what happens. Alright, what am I supposed to do with these white balls? Maybe you need to drop them into the pockets of the pool table. Place each of the 6 balls into the correct pockets in the following order: A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay. Specific balls must go into specific pockets. For instance, ball A would need to go into pocket A and so forth. Press the A button to grab a ball, then drag the ball into the desired pocket to release it and drop it. Selecting the yellow triangle will allow you to switch which ball group is displayed, either 1 through 8 or 9 through 15. Alright, let's give it a try. Okay, I think we've got this then. These colors I think are pretty normal, so yellow, blue, red to start with, which would be yellow, blue, red, and then see, this looks yellow and this looks yellow too. And then these colors don't really seem like they are primary colors. This looks much more magenta than red. And this looks orange. I guess these are stripes. Interesting. So we want a magenta colored ball. Should be like 4. So we'll try 4. And then we want a solid yellow, which would be 1. And then we want a striped orange, which would be 13. And then we want a solid purple, which would be 4. Where is 4 go? There. How did I do this wrong? Magenta. Purple. Purple. Should have been 4, but then who's the magenta? Like, I guess we have to assume that this is supposed to be red, so let's try that again. So 3 here, 1 here, and orange with a stripe is 13, and then 4 is that one. Then we need a solid green in this lower right hand corner, which would be 6. And then yellow with a stripe would be 9. This doesn't work. I'm gonna be fairly peeved. Alright, magenta. A solid number A magenta. I don't feel like anything is magenta. Is the purple supposed to be blue? A, B, C, D, E, F. I feel like we did that right. We've just got the colors wrong. Orange is obvious. Yellow is obvious. It's just that there is a magenta and purple. And is it the 8 ball? That seems crazy. See, when we do 13, that matches that right. That doesn't seem right. There's a trick here. We're gonna have to just play. That's blue when I put a 2 there. That's blue when I put a 1 there. That's blue when we do that. It's 4. That's the only time it works. Just make sure we're doing everything right. Okay. So then the next step. Darn it. We need to figure out what this hole is. And so, is this the 8 ball? No. I mean, it almost seems like we can't check. Because you have to do this first. Get these 3 first. Then you have to think, is that the 8 ball? And the rest of that is 6, right? 6 here. And then a stripe should be 9. That. Purple. Can't be 4. And if we see a dark purple and it can't be 4 and it's not 8, then either it's 2 or 12, I guess, at that point. 2. Apparently it was 2. Okay. Then we're looking for 6. Then we're looking for 9. See, that's really a great example of a puzzle only being solvable through brute force because of just bad coloring. Oh, that was easy. Looks like something came out of the ball retrieval slot. You see down in here. What's this? Some sort of container, huh? There's something inside. Why don't you take it out? Sounds good. I'll just hang on to this then. Well, we now have some dart tips. Oh, are we supposed to potentially... Are these chili peppers? Yes, I believe they're a variety known as Hawk's Claw. Alice, please try some. I'm not eating that. I don't care what kind of claw you think it is. Are you even looking at them? They're obviously dart tips. I don't know. I'm just not seeing it. See, it's kind of funny now you have two people trying to have some kind of Japanese pun or Japanese misunderstanding joke that is going to be hit or miss. You know what soft darts are? They use plastic tips instead of metal ones. Right, so if we combine that with that, then nothing happens. Pull Q. Oh, it's a sort of armor holding a pull Q. Perhaps that's no ordinary Q. The butt end is a little weird. It's got a hexagonal hole at the tip. Interesting. So, good thing I looked at that. And so now we have a key with a circular tip on it. And they've gotten rid of the pull Q. Wasn't really expecting that. Well, then I guess that means we can now use this as a key to unlock this. Right, this tool I've got should fit in the keyhole. Took a bit of work to make, but yes, tip does look remarkably similar. Okay, here we go. It opened. Then let's take a look inside. Got a whole bunch of keys. You know, I was all excited of finally being rich after we found these in here, but they don't look right. I agree. The markings are strange. I have a feeling they'll only work on this ride. That seems likely. In any event, we might as well take a few of them. So now we have coins. Okay. Let's go ahead and try one. Oh, were you planning to put a coin in there? Yeah, I figured I'd put a coin in there and maybe start it up. Okay, I'll just drop a coin in and... Okay. Why the hell are you riding it? Eehehehehe. Look at me go. See? Like, there really hasn't been a murder yet, except for the old lady in this timeline. So, you can see how a lot of the characters aren't being very serious at this point. But, of course, we've played a timeline before and we know murders are coming. I can't watch this. There is no God. Hey, Sigma. Alice. He's waving at us now. Alice, what's going on? I'm scared. I'm not watching. This isn't happening. Everything is fine. Huh? What was that? Seems to have taken a photo. Hooray! Aha! So it took a picture. Ah, that was delightful. Now, where was that photograph? Ah, there we are. Excellent. I give this to you as a memento of our time together, Sigma. I don't really... Just holding it makes me feel wrong. Now, that's hardly necessary. Alright, so now we know we need to do Z9 and D1. Well, that's a handsome fellow there, isn't it? I would have very much liked to give these out to the others, but I can't see. But it seems that you can't print anymore. Terribly disappointing. Oh, wait. There's something written on the back. Z9D1. I wonder what that means. Well, clearly it means we go over here. And... Alright, now it's got some juice. How about you putting some of those coins in the slot we found? That should start it up. Switching over to coins. Put one in. Okay, now put a coin in here. The button's lit up. Guess it's on now. Z9. That's a gold record sitting in the jukebox. Now, usually you can't just reach in and take a jukebox record out. So how are we going to get it? Well, but apparently in this case you can. Looks like somebody's gone gold. I don't think it's actual gold. Alright, and then we'll put in another coin. Apparently we don't have any more coins. There we go, looks good. So that opens one. Do we then have to come back over here and get more coins? Or did I just put all the coins in here? Can we just hit D1? I guess I can. Notice no real animation after a point there. And I guess there's nothing different as far as that record either. There we go. Huh? Did you hear something? Look, the light on the frame in the middle is green now. Surprising, not me. Oh yeah, so it is. I'm guessing that means it might have unlocked. So now we have, what's this thing? It's a box with darts in it, isn't it? Oh, I see now what it says. So we're going for a score of 91. A case for darts. There's 3 things in it that look like darts. They don't have tips though, just a shaft and fletching. Looks like some kind of pictures inside the case. If you've noticed these markings on the lid, we can worry about that later. Right now, I think we should focus on making complete darts. Alright, so we combine this with this. We have complete darts now. Now we have darts. There's only 2 things we can do with them. Either we throw them at the dartboard, or we throw them at a picture of a boss we don't like. Well, I haven't found any pictures of undesirable bosses, or indeed bosses of any kind. Then it looks like we can narrow things down a bit. Let's see. We don't really need this case anymore, do we? Not for holding darts, but it's got some markings on it. You're right. Look here. There are 3 images of the darts. One's red, one's blue and one's green, and then it says score 91. Not sure how this is going to play. Let's see how we can figure this out. So you can pretty much cheat here too, though. So one kind of assumes that they don't all have to be in the same group. Otherwise, getting 91 is going to be fairly difficult in math. Let's see. 666 would just be 18. 888 would just be 24. And then, so that, and 777 would just be 21. And 999 would be 27. Which I think that eliminates any of the single digit numbers, at least to begin with. If we're gonna do the bigger number has to be, let's see, has to be green, then that pretty much leaves us at 33 here. And get a score of 91 with 3 darts. Keep in mind, however, the score for each area must have a specific relationship to the other scores. Toss a dart in each area to reach the correct point value. To throw a dart in a particular area, grab it by pressing the A button, then release the dart on the area where you'd like it to land. So 11 on a triple score. Let's click on this. Apparently, are these the rules darts you normally use? I have no idea. Isn't just darts just a way to flirt with girls? I guess some people use it that way, but darts is a legitimate and dignified indoor sports for gentlemen. Where you compete to see how many girls you can get. What the hell happened to you? Alright, so we needed to pick up that poster. It's just to help. Alright, so looking at the darts poster, the triple score is in the center. Okay. And so 8, 16, 24 feels like it's probably not high enough. 7, 17, I was hoping not to have to triple 17. The 7, 14, 21 plus 3, so 51 to start with. We're trying to get 92. Next one needs to be a blue. Can we move some of these? 52 plus a double of 9 would be 18. Double of 8 would be 16. A lot of room for changing there. Also, it might be a case that we might need to do a triple score on blue also, but it will just give us less than 52. Which might be very well the case. Biggest number here, that would be 9. That gives us 18. So then that leaves us only with 23. So that's not gonna work. So how can we get that number higher? Let's see. Because the biggest red we could do is like a 13. It gets us at the 82. So if we did that, that's 51 again. In blue, we may have to look at our inventory. But you don't really have a file for your items either. Blue tripled would be 33. This would be 60, so that's probably out. This tripled would be 39. So we want 33 or 39. That's too high. So then that leaves me with just 8. Right? This is hard. Let's see. Red is greater than... is it saying that red should be greater than blue, and then blue should be greater than yellow? Or is it the size that matters? I feel like actually it's probably both. There probably are two solutions here, and the score is 91, not 92. Good to know. So red, blue, green, right? Let's do this. Pay attention better. Red, blue, green. So green is the biggest. And then blue is the second biggest. That would be 99, not 91. Red, blue, be 93 if I did that. Unless this is 6 and not 9, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. That seems like that's 9. We would need a 7. It gets 91, but that didn't work. One. So let's then assume that this is a double on one of these blues. It would be the biggest double we could get. Like 17 does not get you close enough. So and this triple would get you too high. 18, like 18, does that get you close enough? 69, good. 69 then be added to enough? No. Can we just miss? I think that totally doesn't work. Is it possible to get a different high score? I just don't think so. Unless I'm just doing this completely wrong. 7 would be right. Do you get a bullseye? We could get 40 points here. And then I could try to get like 39 points here. Which I guess that might work. And then to get to 91 I would need 12 points. Which, right? How can we get 12 points on a red? 7, 14, 21 wouldn't work. So you get 60 points here, 40 points there. Then you triple that to 33. And then the third score would need to be 18 points. Can we get an 18 on a red? 6, 12, 8, 8, 16, 24, 13, 26, 7, 9, 18, 27, 11. We're looking for a red, though. 18 on a red. 7, 14, 21. 9. Just kind of brute forcing this. There doesn't feel like there's really any help here on this one. It's just figure out the answer. You could go to easy mode, I suppose. Right. So if we're not going to triple that, we definitely can't triple that. So then it comes down to, do we want to double a 7 to 14 or 9 to 18? Let's see. Alright, then that leaves us with not enough score. Yeah. There just does not seem like there's enough score here, because we now need a single that would get us to 91. And even 20 wouldn't be high enough on a red for that. Let's see if we try the other direction. The biggest like red we can get would be third. 13. And then the biggest blue we could get could be like 60. But if I get 60, there's no way to get to 91 at that rate. So then the next one would be 17. If I got a 17, is there any way I could get a green that matched up to that? Like, I need straight up 61 points. And it needs to be a green. 34 plus another 7 would be like 51 points. It gets you to 81. Is there something else that we could even do? I don't think so. Like, the only thing I saw was like over here. We could potentially swap the logos. The light is coming from the other side of the wall. What? As you can see, the light isn't hitting the armor, which means it's in front of the stage or fake. The lights in front of the stage are fake. Must be a lighting apparatus on the other side of the wall. Interesting. Shell behind the wall is a suit of the suits is fake. Interesting. And we can't use the trident. So, well, let me move the weapons on the guys now. I know this thing's heavy and all, but the one's got his hands full too. Maybe try another suit of armor. I was thinking I'll just swap them. Really think that's a good idea? Well, let's give that guy the trident. Let's take this. Yeah, apparently I just put the trident down forever. Let's look at the screen. So there's like a secret passage back that way, I think. If I was to guess. Pretty much all we have is the photo K. We have a score of 91. It is red, green. It was red, blue, green. Right, maybe I've been saying red, green, blue. So it's red, blue, green, which on one end if we're gonna do red is the smallest number, then green has got to be the biggest number, which once again could be like anything like that. Yeah, it was blue we were working on after that. And there's a lot of opportunities here, but not enough. Blue has to be one of these triple. So it could be triple 39 could be triple 11. It can't be triple 20. So that gets you to 33. And then red. Now we would need to get 18. And we don't have an 18. Unless we can double something. Or figure out some of the 6, 12, 18. Wait a minute. Will that work? Got it. That took a long time. Good work. Looks like you got it. Well done, Sigma. Look at the screen has changed. So we now see it. We have the password. Oh, well done. This must be for the safe. You did it. So I found the password. We can kind of look in the archive to see that that's that password. And now the question is to get a score of 91 in the exact opposite direction. Red's the biggest, blue is in the middle, green is the smallest. So, biggest red possible is 34. And then blue in the middle could be 18, could not be 60, could not be 39, could not be 36. So then that does put blue at either 18 or 16, which that should just put us a little bit far off. And then green has to be the smallest number, which the biggest number that could be the below 18. Doesn't particularly help much. It's just a 78. We can't do a bullseye. Alright, so is there a bigger number than 34? 7, 14, 21, 22, no. That seems like that has to be that. Then blue has to just get as high as possible. 18's not high enough. 16's not high enough. 39 would not be high, would be too high. That's how the cursor is kind of in its own place now. This would be 16. This would be 18. The only real difference we could do would be I guess 20. That gets you to 54. Then green has to be like, I don't see how that works. Let's bowl a 300. 1, 2, 3, just in case there's like an achievement or something around that. Okay. Hmm. 34. And if it's not going to be 20, then it's probably something like 18. 20 is the smallest, right? Or is there a triple number here we can get that is slightly below that, like 33? I guess that gets us there also. So at that point I just need 24, which would be like, let's see, 8, 16, 24 would do that, wouldn't it? Okay. That was easier. You tried a different solution this time, I see. Yeah, I did. Looks like it worked out. See, the screen changed. This one's different. New password? Well, save password. A lot of struggle there. I don't even... I guess the scoreboard here was for us to do the puzzle. They just wanted there to be a legitimate screen to explain how you were solving the puzzle. This is the second time now that we've rewound things that we have put in a password. So it's star on 4, sun on 8, star on 9. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And that unlocks that. I'll try to move as fast as possible. A piece of cake. In here, there's a map, which you get the map probably multiple times at different paths. And I guess theoretically, as you're rewinding time, you probably are not keeping the keys to the A-B rooms. That would be ridiculous. It says floor B. This one I found in a lounge said floor A. Then that must mean floor A is the top floor. We rode the elevator down to get to this floor. After all, yeah, makes sense. Okay, moving on. Next we've got some key cards. They have the image of the moon on them. Must mean that they're what the announcer was talking about. I kind of like how this game has not gone insane like the first game did, where there were all kinds of keys and key cards, and it was really ridiculous. They had like a key for every single planet in the solar system, and then there felt like there might have been some extra keys on top of that. The moon keys. We've got 2 of them, just like with the sun keys. Alright, Kay, you take one. Why? You're a solo. Alice and I will take the other one. Yes, of course. Thank you. And the last prize. Let's see here. A key. Same old boring key. Must be for the exit. Now we can leave. And there's just like nothing special with these keys, which it'd be really crazy if it turned out that these keys did have something like very much written on their edge, or the position of the holes on it meant something, but I almost certainly would say no. What are we waiting for then? Alright, next let's get the gold file, and we'll see what the gold file is gonna talk about, which frankly could be anything. So we have a star on 3, 8, and a moon on 9. 1, 2, and 2, 1. Like almost certainly I would assume that whatever we see in this cold file will be conversations that trigger after we try to leave the room. Alright, it's opened. So let's see what we unlocked as we continue to unlock things. Still a lot of things you just won't see. Wound 1. See. Is this just information about the wound from the old lady? Wound 2. Corner. Not to be confused with a corner, a coroner is a government official who assists in law enforcement by investigating a coroner, not to be confused with a coroner. A coroner investigates the causes of death. It can be used colloquially to refer to someone who performs these duties, whether or not they actually are employed by the government. Autopsy is postmortem surgery. It's also super gross. Pause now if you want to read this stuff. Luminol is an organic compound. Blah 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 blah. I have yet to see if any of this information actually is going to play any role at all. I don't know if it really is. First glance, Kay's bracelet seems different from the others. Specifically, it appears to be attached to a suit, although the design is slightly different. It is not part of the suit. The bracelet is attached directly to his wrist, with the face looking out through a hole in his armor, just like the other bracelets. It will only come off when he escapes, or when his heart stops beating. And then here we have generalized amnesia. So we kind of know that as long as we keep working at it, we will get all of these. But I would say there's very little information that you really needed to know in this group. Some of this is somewhat helpful, but not really. Basically nothing here was useful, and it seems like nothing there is useful. Now on secondary playthroughs, it does seem like we do just have all the codes from previous playthroughs, so we could easily, if we did need to rewind and go through an escape room, which we probably won't, we should be able to just put in the codes immediately. And what does that do? Does that buy you time? Because in the previous game there kind of turned out that there was a time limit, and there was a way in the perfect run where you had to kind of rush and save yourself more time. I don't think that's going to be the case in this one, though, because all these games seem to give you ridiculous stretches of free time of several hours before a chromatic door will open. And we're collecting items, but it seems like there's still a lot to collect. So let's open this door and let's get out of here. This is a lock for exit. It says lock right now. Time to kiss this weird room goodbye. I actually had a rather nice time. Whatever, I'd rather forget anything that ever happened. 3, 2, 1. That camera angle makes it look like you're on the ground and not standing up towards that door. So this gets us to the white room doors. And it is possible that doorway where the number 9 door would have been on the floor A might just be the exit when somebody goes through the number 9 door, and that this whole thing is just a trick and it takes you down to a place you've already been. And once again, we have chromatic doors that are the wrong color. They're this light blue color when they should be white. What is this place? A warehouse?
Hey, look over there.
Well, maybe it's not that. Maybe there are 3 white doors, and then there are some doors that are light blue, and they're just not making that visually obvious enough because they're not spinning around enough. I bet that's the case. Those doors are white.
Shall we have a look then?
And see, I feel like we could probably go into auto mode here, even though this is dialogue we haven't seen before. We have a different group of people. Alice is still alive. She was definitely not alive by the time we had found the white doors in the previous run-throughs.
They're all the same, though.
They're still trying to force doors open. This one's locked.
This one won't open either.
No luck here. I'm just gonna put it in auto mode. I
Same
think
locking
we can.
mechanism as the other chromatic doors.
I think we can live with the auto mode here. I don't think it's going to. These will be the next doors that open. We should let the others know.
Right.
Yeah, they give you enough time here. Alice and I turned to go, but Kay stayed put. And they give you these nice little pauses. Something wrong?
No. I just feel as if I've seen this warehouse before.
Of course you have. Wait, you've been here before?
I don't know. Perhaps I haven't been here. Only somewhere very similar.
You
Well,
mean
no,
the
duh.
4A warehouse?
Perhaps.
An Ambidex gate has been opened. 45 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Once again, this story is just going to force us to run. What the hell?
Someone else must have opened one of the AB gates.
And Alice is still around,
I imagine they don't
so
care what happens
we
to the
still
rest of us.
get to see her
The most logical
necklace. Dot 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 dot
We should
dot.
return quickly.
Yeah, only in auto mode does the dot 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 start to make sense as kind of a kludged way to put in a pause. It makes no sense when you have to hit A. And so they just pull that trigger and that opens that one-way door, and we didn't see those kind of triggers before, and there was just like no dialogue whatsoever in that at all. You would have thought that there should have been at least a sentence or two discussing that opens the door. And that seemed like that opened a very different door, not a glowing chromatic door. And these cutscenes play at the same speed in auto mode as they do in the regular mode. Way too much transitioning. I almost feel like you deserve to
Sigma?
potentially go just sit back and let the game play itself, knowing how long the first Nonary game was. That it really is a situation where even if I checked out for a good 10 hours and just put it in auto mode and just watched it like a movie, there's still enough interaction and repeated content that you're going to have to go through that you're still definitely playing an active role in the playing out of the story, or the just pressing A to move the story forward. I keep trying to drink more water. Where's Tenmoria's team? Are they not back yet?
We were the first.
Well, if they were the first, then was it Clover and Fi that opened the AB room?
Then wait a little longer before you open the AB gate. It wasn't us.
Interesting. So far, nobody is dead, and we're keeping, I guess, all of the females alive, maybe a little bit longer.
I tried to stop him, but
Come on, it's not like when we open the door really affects the matches, right? It's cool.
no, it's not cool.
Your team returned quite early, Dio. Did your investigation go smoothly?
I guess.
Which room did you guys go to?
Center.
We haven't seen the treatment center. How's that different from the infirmary?
There were these pod things. Look, just go see for yourself, alright? I don't feel like explaining it.
You took something from the treatment center, didn't you?
Huh? What are you talking about?
You did. I saw it too.
So maybe Dio is going to be outed as a bad guy a little bit quicker, but we don't even know if how much of a bad guy he really was.
After we opened the safe, you grabbed something out of it and put it in your pocket. Show us what you took.
Get away from me.
Who jumped him there? Clover shoved her hand into Dio's pocket and began to dig around.
It should be in this one.
Let go.
Before Dio could push her away, Clover found what she was looking for.
I knew it.
An injection gun. Interesting. The label on the vial says neostigmine, which is different than the drug that was in it that killed Luna. What's this stuff for?
I don't know, but I feel like I've heard that name before somewhere.
Give it back. I found it, so it's mine.
Hey!
With a desperate lunge, Dio managed to grab the gun back from Clover, but before she had a chance to protest. Here we have Luna and Timoya back. Now, I think last time when we had seen the story split, Quark was still with them, so it seems to me like we're going to once again be told Quark is missing. So some repeated dialogue potentially here.
Any of you seen Quark?
Let's just go into auto mode. Quark, did something happen to him?
We found a pantry on the other side of the red door, but after we left, he just disappeared.
We've looked everywhere, but we can't find him.
You think he's lost?
Don't you think you're being a little optimistic there?
What?
Come on, that little jerk's probably dead by now. We've already found
Why?
one corpse, right?
What the hell is wrong with you?
Why would you say that, Dio?
Why would you say such a horrible thing?
Whoa, simmer down there. Just saying it's a possibility.
Even if it is, we should still look for him. As we began to file out, I saw Alex staring intently in the corner of the warehouse. So it seems like Alice is once again going to find the knife. It seems strange, but looking for Quark wasn't my priority. And this is a different image. This time, I turned and headed towards the magenta door. So, Alice now is opening herself up to be stabbed again. But Luna probably can't be killed with the injector, at least, because everybody knows that Dio has it. If there was some voice acting here, you'd hear him screaming like, "Quark, are you there?" But not, so that loses a lot of impact. This was the only room that had the lighting, the lighting fixtures you could click on that we've seen also. But there's like nothing seemingly you could do with them. I feel like there are several things potentially in a lot of rooms that you could interact with if you in a later time loop, but not in the first time. And very possibly, like the first game, we may end up just going back to the same room multiple times. Tomoya's team took the red door. They probably already searched that area pretty thoroughly. Then maybe we'll try the blue door, which will probably just take us to a place we've already been, I'd assume. So we go through the blue door, and that takes us to the rec room again, where we had already been. Quark, where are you? He's not here either. Where the hell did he go? Hey.
Oh, Sigma. Any luck?
So Kay meets back up with you. Nothing, I can't find him. What about you? Never mind, if you found him, you'd have said something already.
Indeed. I went to the treatment center, as well as the Floor B warehouse, but he was not there.
Seems redundant to go back to the same place. Also feels like the rec room is probably not equipped well enough for 9 people, one being a kid. It's pretty wasted time. We just ran in circles. Sorry, we couldn't find him anywhere.
I see.
And Alice
The three of
didn't
you,
follow
the only
you,
others to have returned.
so Alice is now potentially
you're right.
dead. I guess you guys didn't have any luck either.
Yeah. No clues or anything.
I don't get it. With this many people looking, it seems like we'd be able to find him pretty fast.
Quark is only a child. It's possible he's become trapped in a small enclosed space.
Well, wouldn't we at least be able to hear him calling for help?
Yeah, you're right.
Quark.
Tomoe's shoulders slumped. He looked old, much older than he had when we met. Long pause. I could see tears glistening in the corners of his eyes. For just a moment I saw them in all of his pains, fear, and despair. I felt like someone had put my heart in a vice. Didn't read that sentence quite. Then Dio appeared and the mood suddenly changed. Wow, if Dio actually found Quark, that'd be really crazy.
Hey, you guys, come here.
Dio.
What are you standing around for? They're in the crew quarters.
What?
Just come on.
Wow, so all of a sudden Dio might be a good guy in this story. In this timeline. And it might very well be the case that the drug that Dio is stealing is in the auto injector is the cure to like Radical 6. And he needs it. Wow. 2 people did. Luna and Alice in the first. In one fell swoop, apparently Dio murdered both of them, or Quark murdered both of them. There was roaring in my ears, breathing, heartbeat, but my footsteps sounded muffled as I was hearing them through layers of cotton. And the knife is in her chest. I imagine they only die one way. I pressed a shaking hand to Alice's neck. Her skin was so warm, but the only pulse I felt was my own. Yeah, well, I imagine maybe there's 2 different ways people die. It's clear why. Someone had driven into her chest. Something had been driven into her chest so far that only the hilt was visible, and the entire front of her body was covered in blood. No one could survive something like that. So is there any way to keep Luna and Alice alive? I forced myself to swallow the stinging lump in my throat and turned towards Luna. Unlike Alice, at first glance she seemed unharmed. As I reached for her neck to check for a pulse, however, I saw a red mark near her jawline. Yeah, it does feel fairly questionable that how you're gonna keep most of these people alive, because I don't know what choices I've made guaranteed Alice and Luna's death. I knew I would not find nothing. They're dead. They're dead. I missed some of that dialogue.
What on earth happened here?
Yeah.
That bastard killed them.
Who?
Whoever it was that killed the old lady in the AB room.
You're saying this mystery person killed Luna and Alice?
Maybe only one of them was supposed to be killed, but the murderer had to kill the other to keep them quiet.
Or perhaps they killed one another. Luna
Unlikely.
stabbed Alice in the chest, after which Alice attacked her with the injection gun.
That's pretty far-fetched. Look at Alice's clothes. No sign of a struggle. I don't think they fought.
Alice's clothes would probably not show much struggle, considering she's barely wearing any.
If that were the case, there would be much less blood.
It'd be very easy to grab her or punch her in the stomach and not touch her clothes at all.
Whatever the case, we have too few clues to figure it out right now. We'd all separated to look for Quark.
It would have been easier to write that line as saying Alice is. Look at Alice, she has no signs of struggle on her.
Do you think there's someone else in here?
Well.
Do you think that Zero Senior killed these two, as well as the old woman?
Oh, give me a break. How can you just sit around here talking?
Why are they not accusing Dio?
Are you fucking kidding me? One of us is a killer. Can't think of a better reason to make a fuss.
The only one not with them is Clover.
Likely suspect, don't you?
Excuse me?
You wait until the rest of us have gathered in the warehouse. Then you kill Alice and Luna. You pretended to be the first to find them, and...
Are you saying I did this?
I'm just saying it's a possibility. You don't need to get so worked up about it.
A lot of this is just repeated content.
10 minutes remain until Ambidex Game.
I really don't know in the AB game who I'm even paired with, who I'm gonna have to vote at. I think...
If no vote is recorded before
I feel like I was paired with Alice and it was against Luna.
non-voting parties
But
will automatically ally.
I guess maybe I was paired with Alex and I'm gonna vote against. Your choice is set to ally. I guess that means Luna's vote will be ally for this round.
Yes, it does. Perhaps that outcome is what the killer was after.
They killed Alice and Luna for that. Who would Luna's opponent be?
Quark and myself. One person is missing and the others bought the farm. I'd say this old fart's the most suspicious one here.
You want to say that to my face?
Yeah, you killed her so you could get a few more points in the AB game.
Are you an idiot? How do you explain Alice? She's playing against Kay, not me.
That's true.
Not quite. Even without his partner Alice, Sigma will still be able to cast a vote as he wishes.
Yeah.
Then maybe that's why Luna died. Maybe they meant to kill Sigma, but something went wrong and they...
True. I suppose that is a possibility.
Yeah, you just really want to rush through half of this story because it's fairly repeated. And a lot of this early story is probably going to be repeated potentially 9 different times. Huh. Do they really matter anymore?
Without their bracelets, some of us would be unable to open the secondary chromatic doors.
You're pretty calm, pal. Too calm. You did it, didn't you?
A sterling deduction. I await your further insight. He wears a mask, therefore he is guilty, perhaps?
What did you just say? Are you fucking with me?
Knock it off. Is there really any point to arguing about this?
Agreed. We aren't getting any younger here.
The real question is to ask Dio to show the injection gun on, or explain.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
Explain.
Just leave her here.
Explain how he lost the injection gun if he doesn't have another one on him. If there are 2 injection guns, that's fine, and that's actually very informative. But it's really a crucial piece of information, and frankly, it can be a little frustrating in stories like this if they're getting insanely bad about asking the important questions. Clover.
If you don't vote, Dio might get out.
Huh?
He's got 6 BP right now. If you don't vote, you will automatically ally. And I bet my left arm he'll pick Betray. That'd be 3 points, which will put him at 9. Once he's got that, there's nothing stopping him from opening the number 9 door. I'll try and pick ally, of course. But Dio's not an idiot. He'll try and stop me or get in my way somehow.
Dio will have 9 points?
What are you gonna do, Clover? If you stay here, you might be letting Alice's killer get away.
Fine. I'll do it. There's no way I'm going to let him get 9 points.
Good. Let's go.
And they've just completely forgotten about the injector because of the time
5
limitations.
minutes remain until Ambidex Game polling closes.
Two of the rooms didn't get opened, probably because they weren't needed. Take a deep breath and unlock the AB room. No matter how hard I looked for answers, all I found were more questions. Who killed Alice and Luna? Where was Quark? Wasn't in any kind of mood to play along with Zero's ridiculous games, but at this point, I didn't really have a choice. I heaved a silent sigh and started toward the entrance to my AB room.
Sigma, what would you say to voting ally? I would reciprocate, of course. You have 5 BP. If we both ally, then you will gain 2 points, leaving you with 7 in total. Should you also cooperate mutually in the following round, you would gain another 2 points, bringing you to 9. Conversely, if you were to choose to betray me during this round, you would gain 3 points, for a total of 8. In other words, you will be unable to reach 9 BP until the round following this one. That being the case, choosing ally is the most logical choice.
Yep, true, but how many points do you have? As I recall, you and Clover chose Betray on the first AB game. That means you should have 6 BP right now. If you were to betray me and get another 3, you could get all the way to 9 this round.
Ah, yes, that is true. However, escaping as soon as possible is not my goal.
Interesting. But you picked Betray in the first round, didn't you?
That was in the interest of my own safety. As I only had 3 points at the time, the prospect of losing 2 of them was very unsettling. Now that I have 6 BP, I have some room for error.
Why wouldn't you want to get out of here as soon as possible?
Of course I would like to, but attempting to do so would be unwise.
Why is that?
Isn't it obvious? If I escape on my own, everyone else will be trapped here forever.
Huh? What are you talking about?
You've forgotten what Zero told us.
See, and some of these reminders didn't happen in different paths, so you kind of have a different experience because of that.
The number 9 door only opens once. Once that happens, it's all over.
And then these flashbacks are about pretty much all we're going to get for Zero Jr.
I trust you remember now?
So if someone opens it and escapes...
Precisely. Did you not realize? Perhaps I shouldn't have said anything.
Hey, don't tell me you were planning to just leave us all in the lurch and take off by
I
yourself.
would never do that. Consider the following. If I did manage to get to 9 points before anyone else, do you think the rest of our companions would allow me to leave? Especially knowing that if they did, they would remain here for the rest of their lives?
Well, no, of course, we'd stop you.
See? Working toward leaving as a group is the most logical choice for me.
Yeah, it's a shame nobody figured that out earlier.
1 minute remains.
It'd be interesting if in this story everybody eventually gets the flashes of different timelines and gets the answers, and so everybody just cooperates with the AB games from the word go, and that solves everything and makes everybody live and survive.
Our time is nearly up. I trust you will choose wisely.
Yeah, of course. You too. We definitely are going to run into a point here where the game is going to have just basically nothing new to say in a lot of sections. We're already seeing a lot of repetition in the third branch, and there's a lot more to go. We'll stick with the same old rule. We'll just take the top option first. Cade made a compelling argument, but I still had to make a choice. Would I really choose to ally? If I chose ally and he chose betray, he'd have 9 points and I'd have 2. Still, even if he had 9 points, he might not try and escape right away. The question was, how much could I trust him? How much trust can I give a man whose face I've never seen?
10 seconds remain until Ambidex Game polling closes. 9, 8, 7, 6.
Kind of pointless to have the countdown.
3, 2, 1.
So yeah, we'll just take ally at the first, and then that probably will get us a bad end, and then we'll take betray, and that'll probably get us a bad ending too, or some kind of ending that isn't the perfect ending. In the first game, there were endings, but they were all pretty bad, except for the perfect ending, which even that one wasn't amazingly great,
Thank you for your participation.
but it kept everybody alive.
Ambidex gates now opening.
We still kind of want to see what would happen if somebody's life points went down to 0
Results from round 2
from the votes right then and there.
will now be displayed.
Would it kill them as they're in the AB room, or would it kill them as the results are displayed, or would it kill them a few seconds later?
Please direct your attention to the results screen.
So I got betrayed. Alright. So let's see. Phi and Dio both betrayed. Clover betrayed, and that left everybody with no change in the results, leaving them at Phi at 5 and Dio and Clover at 6. Where it would have been fine for them to both ally, and nobody would have gotten to 9. Quark is missing, so Tomoya voted in favor and betrayed to get Quark up to 9 and add himself to 4. Luna allied because she was dead, so there really was no reason in that argument for him not to betray. So that it's kind of hard to blame Tomoya for betraying at all there. And then Alice is dead, and she would be at -1 now, because I was betrayed, and I'm down to 3, and K betrayed to have 9, which I wasn't really expecting that. K's been kinder than that in almost every other interaction.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
In a funny way, even though all these murders are going on, nobody has accused Sigma at all, which seems weird. Like there seems like there almost certainly would have been instances where it might have made sense to at least consider if Sigma was the murderer. But I guess nobody's just making those accusations directly to your face. What?
So you did indeed choose ally.
You tricked me.
I apologize.
Sigma!
Sigma.
Fucking idiot!
Yeesh.
Now K's got 9 points thanks to your stupid ass.
But he's not going to just leave us.
I apologize for taking further advantage of your trust, but I will be leaving.
Interesting. What? Before we could react, K slipped past us with the speed and agility that belied his size. In the blink of an eye, he was standing in front of the number 9 door.
K! Damn it! Wait, you son of a bitch!
He didn't give any sign that he heard Dio just grab the lever and pulled it down. I'm still not certain that this number 9 door isn't just a freight elevator that is going to like open up on the next floor. Oh no. Says Clover. Is somebody gonna try and chase after him? You might as well try.
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain open for 9 seconds.
I guess the question really comes down to, do you want to be trapped for the rest of your life in this facility, or would you rather just potentially, almost certainly die and take a risk? But I also wouldn't be surprised if they get out of this facility and find out that the world is just infected in a horrible apocalypse, and it actually is safer and better inside. Why did you do it? I trusted you, Kay.
The answer is obvious. 3 people have already been murdered. If I remain, I place myself in greater danger.
So he does seem to have a just basic logic that he's applying to it.
A simple decision, really. I'm sure he would have done.
God damn it, Kay.
I do intend to contact the police as soon as I have escaped. Now then.
Kay, wait. He didn't even turn around. It would be a fairly boring ending to the story if somebody like Kay escaped and he was able to contact the police and save everybody else. Yeah, and the sound effect there is the little wings on the side, not an elevator sound, although it might be an elevator sound also.
This ends the Nonary Game. Thank you for your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked.
Yeah, this is unnecessary extra stuff.
Is not possible. Please enjoy your stay.
Moya, is he gonna say something? Nope. Well, at least in this scenario, compared to the previous scenario, less people are dead. At least for the moment.
He's gone.
Damn it! This is all your fault, Sigma.
Yep, I've killed a bunch of people.
Yeah. It's not like we can open that door again.
Damn it!
No, this isn't right. This can't be right. We stood there in silence staring at the door. The only exit to the outside world, now closed forever. Our only chance to escape now was in the hope that Kay would keep his word and contact the police. Alice, Luna, and the old woman. Who had killed them? And where had Quark gone? There were questions we still hadn't answered, but we had plenty of time now. Perhaps we still would. But of course the game's not going to let you continue the story. Game over. And see, I could imagine definitely making an anime series where you potentially had one of these bad endings each episode. I don't know how you would do all the backstory of that if you were going to try and turn this into an anime. You almost certainly would have to have like the first 6 episodes be the setup, and then the last 6 episodes in the season be the split, in which you start getting different endings. Excuse me. So, yep, a dead end. Easy enough to figure out what the choice there is to do. Is warp back to this point. And this time we just betray. And we'll see what happens here. We probably aren't going to continue the story much.
30 seconds remain until Ambidex.
Let's just hit some buttons and go ahead and skip this. Just gotta be real careful not to press the ally button a second time.
9, 8,
Although I guess at that point I could probably
5,
also...
4,
You can't skip the countdown, so you can't button mash there. I could also probably jump back to this decision if I hit the wrong button anyways.
Round 2 of the Ambidex game has been completed.
And see, this will keep things going for one more round, so it might actually get us to a white room, but
Results
it may
will
not,
be displayed
because K may
in
just
the
kill us
windows.
anyways. Like, he's clearly strong enough and fast enough.
Thank you for your participation.
Of course, him just killing you is probably not in his best interest.
Ambidex gates now opening.
We still are at the point where Luna and Alice have been killed. So, anything, if we can bring up the flow. Let's see, not yet.
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game
Anything on
will
this
now
left
be
branch
displayed.
clearly ends up with Alice and Luna dead. And almost certainly anything on this branch ends up with, I bet, somebody dead. Which also might mean that the central branch or the right branch might be particularly slower and more boring if nobody actually does end up dead at all.
Please direct your attention to the results screen.
The only thing that could be different here that would be surprising is if it turned out that somebody else voted differently. And I don't see a reason why there would be a different vote there. And so all that does is bring up Tomoya to 4 and leave everybody else where they are. Alice's number doesn't matter anymore. And Luna's number doesn't matter anymore. And then they're showing the pairs and the colors. So you pick Betray.
Leading to a draw, it would seem.
You don't feel about it or anything?
Could ask the same of you.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's fair.
Thought that you would choose ally.
If I had, then you would have had 9 BP right now, wouldn't you? Nice try. I'm not going to let you get out of here that
I
easily.
told you before, even if I were to reach 9 BP, I would not necessarily leave immediately.
Well, we now know that's a complete lie.
I might choose to wait until everyone else had also reached 9 BP.
Yeah, well, I considered that. Didn't seem likely.
You do not trust me.
Well, should we trust you? We just saw you betray everybody.
No
Well,
need to apologize. Trust must be earned in a game like this.
says the guy who told me to trust him so he could betray me.
Indeed. Clearly, I don't deserve to be trusted.
The honesty is refreshing, but that's really not the brightest move.
So you chose Betray too, huh? But you just picked Ally out of 9 BP right now.
Why on earth would I have done that?
Now Clover is talking to Dio.
There's no way Clover would have chosen Ally when you had a chance to betray her and get to 9 BP.
Are you an idiot or something?
Bunch of smartasses.
So you chose Betray.
Of course. Luna's bracelet is already off.
Yeah.
No risk of a penalty for her now.
That brings Quarks BP up to 9.
Yep.
Are you worried that he might try and get out?
Well, if he were to do so, the rest of us would be trapped here.
Bet you're all pretty happy he isn't here right now, aren't you?
Well, nobody's saying that.
Maybe you aren't saying it, but I know what you're thinking.
The Ambidex gates have closed.
So the real question now is,
Round 3.
what more happens now? Do we get to a
The
white
star
room?
round. Star keys are required to open the gates.
And see, this might be just
There
repeated
is no
content.
set limit on usage of the star keys.
Hmm.
The Ambidex gates can be opened as many times as the players wish to open them.
As many times as we want, huh? Then that means we can play the AB game over and over again using the star keys, right?
So it would seem.
All right. Well, where do we find them?
Beyond the next set of chromatic doors.
This, being able to play the AB games as many times, forgot to tell you guys, take a look at the map. So, there are 3 white doors on floor B warehouse.
White doors, huh?
Yeah, once the game tells you that you can play as many times as you want, then it's fairly obvious everybody should just stay until everybody has 9 points. And then it just becomes an argument about are more people going to get murdered, and are you going to ever find the kid?
Maybe that's where Quark went. The warehouse on floor B, you said?
Yeah, but you're not going to be able to get through them until they open. An hour, 80 minutes.
Damn.
We will need to form groups of colors that can make white.
Time we had to look at all our colors then.
So who are we going to get paired up with this time? Looks like they've been shuffled around again. Looks like I'm a solo blue. So I would need probably the red and yellow combination color.
I'm a magenta. Pear.
Magenta pair.
As am I.
So K and Phi are going to be together.
You and me, huh? Better than Dio, I guess.
Say something.
What color are you?
I'm a green solo. What's with the sigh?
So they are going to get paired up
Forget
anyways.
about it.
What about you two?
Cyan, pair.
I'm a cyan pair too.
Okay.
Alice and Luna's bracelets have changed as well.
So they're a yellow pair. Which...
Both of them are yellow pairs.
Then what color is Quark?
He's a red solo. In order to open the white doors, you'd normally need, say, red, blue, and green.
Okay. How's this gonna work? Then I feel like a team's getting left behind. But solos can't group together, right?
That's why the pairs are magenta, yellow, and cyan. Magenta is a mix of red and blue. Yellow is a mix of red and green. Cyan is a mix of blue and green. So if you combine magenta with green, you get white. And so on.
I see. I don't follow, really. I'm not paying enough attention.
We just need to get to the floor B warehouse when the doors open, right? I'll be taking off then.
Where do you think you're going?
Anywhere that isn't here. Hanging out with a murderer doesn't sound like a good time to me.
The guy who insists on splitting up is usually the first to fight it.
What?
Then again, loners often turn out to be killers.
Just what are you
Interesting.
getting at, old man? You think I kill him?
Well, maybe, maybe not. But you're
You
pretty
did-
damn suspicious.
He did have the injector.
Trying to start something, you wrinkled old piece of...
Hey, knock it off. We don't actually know one of us is the killer, do we?
We have no evidence of that, no. But we do know that Zero Senior is one of us. And there is an excellent chance that Zero Senior and the killer are one and the same.
Then why did he kill Alice and Luna now? If Zero Senior wanted any of us dead, he could have done it way before this. That is an interesting question to ask, certainly, is that if he is just going to murder people, why make a game out of it and have multiple people, unless you're just seeking a thrill of entertainment? Wouldn't it have been better to potentially hunt down each person one by one instead of potentially being overwhelmed or found out? Well, we were, I don't know, unconscious, for instance. What's the point of setting up this whole game just to kill off 2 of your participants halfway through?
Then are you saying there's another person in here somewhere?
Maybe. It's possible. I think it might be a good idea for us to look for the killer.
Well,
Reaction shot, reaction
you gain
shot.
nothing by standing around here.
Yeah. I've got to find Quark, and soon.
If we're going to search, we should go in pairs this time.
Yeah, good idea. How are we gonna pair up then?
I'm not going with Kay. If he decides he feels like snapping me in half, there's not a whole hell of a lot I can do about it.
I'll go with anyone besides Dio.
I don't want to go with Dio either.
Fine. He's hardly my first choice, but I'll take Dio.
What the hell?
Just figured that this way we don't have to make this into a huge argument. Besides, I'm gonna be stuck with you once we go through the chromatic doors anyway. No reason to put it off.
I will go with Sigma.
Oh yeah.
Prefer someone else?
No, I guess you're okay.
That leaves me and Clover as a pair then.
Yep.
I guess I do need to applaud this game for not making Tinmoya a creepy old man. Like it definitely could have been a situation where any of the male characters or female characters could have creeped on Clover as a potential maybe 20-year-old. Then I guess also, yeah, she's probably closer to 18. Also, I guess I should applaud that nobody has creeped too much on the little boy Quark, even though he's not really much in the story, other than the fact that Alice is basically walking around topless in front of him in the early parts of the story. Looks like we're all set.
We'll take the cyan door on floor A and the blue door on floor B.
Alright, Clover and I'll take the magenta door and the red door.
There's a lot more splitting up going on here in planning than in previous timelines. That leaves us the yellow and green doors. Once we're all done, we'll meet on floor B warehouse, alright?
See you later then.
And unless we find somebody new dead, I don't think we're gonna find too much. We're gonna search the infirmary, and well, we can see that there's nobody handcuffed yet. There's no one in the infirmary. No Quark, no killer, at least as far as I can see.
Well, there is someone here. Technically, at least. The old woman.
Yeah. In a funny way, the old woman's face, in the way it's rendered, since they didn't have to render it a lot of different times, is actually fairly nicely done. Oh yeah. She's lying silently on the bed furthest away from us. If it weren't for the bloodstain on her chest and arm, her peaceful expression would have fooled most people into thinking she was just asleep. The blood had dried and darkened and now looked like any other stain. That was when I noticed it. Huh? She was wearing a bracelet. So some Zero did kill her to get the bracelet, which almost implies that Zero had not intended to be one of the people in the games, and maybe Zero Jr. or somebody else betrayed the original Zero. And now we know why the bracelet would have had blood potentially under it, even though it had been washed off. Wait a minute. Look at the wrist.
It seems remarkably clean.
Yeah, for some reason there's no blood on this part.
Maybe she had something on her wrist. A watch, perhaps.
A
Yes.
watch.
It
Yes.
was likely removed after she was killed. That would account for the lack of blood splatter on her wrist.
A watch, huh? Oh no. Just looks like it's kind of wide for a watch. Aren't women's watches usually thinner?
You raise a good point. Perhaps it was some kind of jewelry?
Jewelry. Mean like a bracelet or something? Of course. Why didn't I see it sooner? This is the same size and shape as our bracelets. Look, it's exactly the same width.
Then that would mean
She was wearing a bracelet when she was killed. She was a participant just like us.
Are you sure? This old woman, a player in the Nonary game.
Apparently so. Which kind of implies then that there... No, it just means that there was an extra person, a 10th person. Okay. Is something wrong?
No, nothing. If you're correct, then where did the thief hide the stolen bracelet? We were quite thorough during our earlier search, but I know that I saw nothing, and none of the others reported finding a bracelet either.
It would be nice to see if somebody like snapped a bracelet on their own wrist and saw that it would relock onto their wrist. If that's not the case, but then that also might be like a bad ending, because there are definitely probably combinations where if somebody had two bracelets that they would not be able to walk through two different doors at the same time. Then that means they've been holding on to it this whole time. They probably still got it.
Seem likely.
So, is there a 10th bracelet, or was Zero Senior not wearing one? No, wait. If they've been carrying it around, the sensors in the chromatic door would have picked it up. Without the right combination of bracelets, the secondary door would have never opened.
So our suspect is not only a killer and a thief, but a skilled imposter as well.
What are you saying?
After killing the old woman, they put on her bracelet. In fact, it is entirely possible they are wearing it still. Yes, that would make sense.
So the killer's running around with one of the old woman's bracelet,
Yes,
and you're telling me that they're probably wearing it.
correct. Do you remember what Zero Jr. told us? Something about how the bracelet will come off if the wearer's heart stops. I don't recall the exact words, but in any event, once the old woman had died, her bracelet would have detached, allowing the killer to easily collect it. So
Why?
that they could participate in the Nonary game, I imagine.
What?
I suspect the killer was someone who was not originally intended to be a participant.
Interesting.
For whatever reason, however, they were willing to go to great lengths to ensure that they were.
See, that would be funny if it turns out that this is Phi that killed the old lady to be a participant to try to save everybody else. At a weird point, then we'd have to figure out some kind of mental justification to allow Phi to be the good guy in the story and murder an old lady.
To that end, they killed the old woman, who was one of the original participants, and took her place.
But why would someone do that?
I have no idea. Certainly they must have a goal of some sort. You would have to be mad to choose to come here.
There is a point, certainly with this dialogue, that having so many other people potentially talk to you certainly helps. Or otherwise, if you were to compare this to something like Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, that there's a game where anytime Link as a character is not next to another character who's talking to him, he is at most making sounds and grunts. He's definitely not talking and giving any backstory or dialogue. However, I would say in this case, they aren't really optimizing that greatly, because even in auto mode, there's a lot of time in which the player character is still talking and it's not being voiced. Otherwise, this could be a very easy sit back and watch interaction.
As to what that goal is, and how the killer intends
Like,
to
I
achieve
could
it.
potentially put this in auto mode if the main character was voiced and sit and press no buttons for 10-20 minutes straight.
I'm afraid I do not have even speculation.
And it's definitely getting harder and harder to pay attention to the story as it keeps on going on. That's
Have you
interesting.
noticed something?
Well, there's blood all over the lady's arm except for right here. Since that's where the bracelet was, then the bracelet's killer stole. The bracelet the killer stole should have blood on it.
Right.
But none of us were wearing a bloody bracelet.
Sigma, please tell me you're kidding. The killer would have, of course, wiped the blood off. Only a fool would walk around with a bracelet covered in blood.
So you're saying they cleaned it?
Yes. Have you discovered something?
The Luminol. Okay. I know how we can identify the killer.
Oh?
We just need some of that Luminol, which we couldn't pick up an extra bottle of. Doesn't matter how well they cleaned it, there should be some traces of blood left.
I see. That could very well work. We should have everyone gather in the rec room then. That is where the Luminol was, I believe.
Yeah. First we need to finish looking for Quark though. We still got the infirmary and everything beyond the green door. Once we're done with that, we can head back to floor B and meet up with everyone else.
Understood. Shall we go then?
Yeah, it definitely feels like it's just getting slower and slower with the story. When really I'd like it to speed up. I'd like the game to be a little bit better programmed to know, like, look, you've already heard this dialogue. Let's just skip it, or for them to just have curated the dialogue extremely well so that you only get like one sentence of dialogue ever anyways. There are 3 doors here too.
The same as what we found on the other side of the blue door.
But 2 of them seem to be open, if not 3. It looks like 2 of them are already unlocked.
So it does. The center and rightmost doors both say open. Perhaps the layout here is different.
Whatever, let's just take the door on the right first. Although what you should do is pull the handle and see if it unlocks the 3rd door. I'm not even sure how those doors actually open, whether you just walk near them or if you press the arrow in the middle, or if there's like a button next to it. Now we're in Gallium Bay, which seems to have been completely unsolved. Huh, what's this room?
That looks like a workbench of some sort.
Maybe, but what sort of work? Well, we're here to find Quark, not look at a workbench. You go check the far end, alright?
Very well.
Nothing. He's not here either. Hey Kay, interesting, the robot's missing. Golem is totally missing. How's it going over there? Kay, can you hear me? Kay was bent over with his back to me, peering underneath the thing that looked like a workbench. What the hell? Walked toward him as I spoke. Hey man, what's going on over here?
Oh, nothing.
So did he just find the key? Did it get left in this timeline? Bent down and saw him staring at something that appeared to be a safe. It's empty.
Yes.
Was there something in there before?
No, it was empty when I found it.
Was
Yes.
it? Yes. Then what are you doing staring into an empty
I
safe?
was thinking. Specifically, I was thinking about who opened this safe.
Wouldn't that have been the team that went through the green door? I think that'd be Dio, Phi, and Clover.
That's unlikely. When we met up with Dio, he told us that he had been in the treatment center.
So somebody went through this escape room extra, apparently.
The nameplate on this door says this is the Golem Bay, however.
So you're saying they didn't go here?
I believe that is the case. Which, as you can see, is why I was puzzled. If Dio, Phi, and Clover did not open the safe, who did?
That is questionable. There's no point in thinking about it. Like, how could Golem possibly have gotten up and walked if his batteries were really shot, like he said? Should get back.
Yes, and there was another unlocked door, wasn't there?
Yep, let's get moving then. Who could even carry a giant robot like Golem? We haven't seen the treatment center before, so this will be new. So this is the treatment center, huh? We assume that this is a treatment center for Radical 6. And to the right you can see some kind of jellyfish in a fountain that's actually animated. Somebody wasted a lot of time animating that, I imagine. So this is the treatment center, huh?
This is the room that Dio visited.
Seems like there's only a couple rooms. Don't you think that's kind of strange? Until now, all the chromatic doors have led to a single room each. So why are there two rooms on this other side of the green door?
Excellent question.
We can talk to the others later, I guess, and see if they know anything. Yeah, there's like 3 beds. Kay and I split up and began to look for places for Quark might have hidden, or small holes he might have escaped through. And it definitely seems like there's just a whole puzzle here. Huh? What are these?
They must be the treatment pods Dio mentioned.
There's not enough of them for 9 people to potentially have been treated / kept in cryogenic stasis for hundreds of years. The window's all covered with frost on the inside. I can't see
Shall
in.
we open it?
Yes, might as well. Have at it. If they found Quark in one of these, that would be
What?
slightly surprising. Okay. Quark has been found. Open the other 2 to see if there are 2 other clones of Quark. Quark. No. Oh no. His bracelet. It's... oh god.
Hold on, Sigma.
Well, if it turns out the treatment center can stop everyone's heart, and then they can wake up again, then everybody can get their bracelets off immediately, and that's a lot safer.
Calm down. Look at his chest. Can you see it moving?
What? Quickly pressed a finger to Quark's wrist. It was faint, but his heartbeat was there. He's alive. He's alive.
What a relief. I'm so glad to know he's safe.
So who has his bracelet, though? I laughed out loud and grabbed Kay in a bear hug, or at least as much as one could, as I could manage. He patted me on the back and shared what I thought might have been a relieved chuckle. But if he's still alive, why is his bracelet off? Zero Jr. said he would only come off when you died.
Perhaps Zero Senior took it off?
What? Why?
I have no idea.
Then maybe Zero Senior bought Quark here and put him in the pod thing too. Well, even if he did, we don't have any way to know why.
This pod is for medical treatment. Perhaps Quark has contracted some sort of illness.
He's sick? What's he got? What has he got?
How would I know that? In any event, we We should return and let the rest of our companions know that we found Quark.
No, you should make sure you don't let Quark out of your sight and take him with you.
I imagine Tenmyoji in particular will be pleased.
Yeah, I bet. Do you think you can carry him, or?
I believe it would be best to leave Quark here. As I mentioned, there is a chance he has fallen ill. If so, then removing him from the pod would be dangerous.
I don't agree with that.
The treatment he is currently undergoing could be compromised.
Oh.
Close the pod's cover then. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure. Wait, I just thought of something. Are you sure he's going to be alright?
What do you mean?
Well, what happens if he wakes up? Can he open that thing on his own?
He'll be fine. I noticed a lever inside that can be used to open the cover. So long as no one locks the pod, he should be able to leave whenever he wants.
Lock that pod. If someone locks him in, he's screwed.
Yes, that is what I said. But you needn't worry.
Like, I'd lock him in.
You see, I have not engaged the lock. Now, we should return to the Floor B warehouse. I imagine the others are already there.
Right, yeah. Okay, let's go. I feel like they should have definitely opened the other two. Just to make sure there aren't two other people in those pods. Seems like we are going somewhat different direction. It probably doesn't really matter. The exit paths don't seem to really matter. So unless we have more people missing and more people dead,
You're late.
then we might be moving towards a better ending.
You're one to talk. How much earlier did you get back again? I'd be surprised if you searched at all.
This is it.
Yeah, Clover and Tenmyoji still aren't back.
So, find anything?
Yeah, we sure did.
Well, go on, spill it.
I explained to them how we found Quark in the treatment center.
I see.
You can see Fi is smiling about that, and Theo is smiling too.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Jerk, making us all worried.
There is more.
And that is?
There is still some cause for concern.
Just spit it out.
Quark may have contracted an illness of some sort. As such, he has been left in the treatment pod.
Will he be alright?
Yeah, he'll probably.
Probably? Do you even...
Whatever, at least we found him. Pretty lucky he's alive, too.
What do you mean by that?
I mean what I said, genius. I'm glad he's not dead, aren't you?
As equivocal as ever, I see.
How kind of you to say so.
Jump through all this dialogue. A lot of this is just pointless.
So, was Quark all you found? The way you were talking made it sound like there was something else.
Yeah. I'll explain after Tomoya and Clover get back. There's something I want to ask you about first, though. When you went through the green door, did you search 2 different rooms?
2?
No, just the treatment center.
I see. Then what was the other
What
one?
do you mean the other one?
You know, where there's that intersection, with 3 doors. Man, I'm dropping the ball in reading now. Well, Kay and I went there, and 2 of the doors were unlocked. You guys unlocked the one that went to the treatment center when you went through the green door, but the other one...
Who could have opened it?
Don't look at me. I told you, we only opened the one that went to the treatment center.
Could it have been Zero Senior?
Could have been. Don't know.
So did you and Kay go
Dot.
through the other door?
Yeah,
What was in there?
nothing really.
It appeared to be some sort of room for servicing something.
That doesn't make any sense. So what the hell was whoever opened that door looking for?
Who knows? Well, we know what's there. It's the key that would take off the mask of Kay. But did Kay ever have an opportunity to sneak in that area and steal it himself? And if he did, then why would he be searching the safe a second time? So it then has to be somebody else. Dot.
Tenmyoji and Clover are running rather late. Should we go and look for them?
Yeah, it feels like we're gonna find them handcuffed to the infirmary again. To the sinking infirmary. No, there's something I want to check first.
It's never easy with you, is it?
Well, let's get it over with.
So if we take all of these to the rec room and spray all of their bracelets and find out none of them are 0, what does that really prove?
This is the rec room. Dio and I came here earlier when we were looking for Quark.
So why are we here?
Was there something here you needed to see?
I said nothing and instead made my way over toward the cabinet. Inside was the luminol. I reached in and pulled out, then headed to the light switch and flipped it. The room went dark. I headed back to where the others were still standing.
Whoa, what is this? You gonna start telling ghost stories or something?
Why, are you scared of ghosts?
You're kidding me, right?
Then show me how brave you are. Stick out your bracelet. You two, Phi, please.
Bracelets?
Yeah. I want to see the underside of them.
What do you mean by that?
I mean the side on the bottom. The side that doesn't have the display on it. Come on, you really gonna make me explain this?
I know what you mean. What I'm asking is what the hell you think you're...
Just do it. It's not hard.
Should I also participate?
No, you're fine, Kay. Your bracelet is a little different from ours. But I'll join just to make it fair. Probably should spray his bracelet just to see if maybe some blood. There was a brief moment of hesitation before Dio and Phi stuck their arms out. I held mine out as well, wrist pointed upward.
This okay?
Yeah. Just hold it like that for a moment. As fast as I could, I pulled out the luminol from my pocket and sprayed it across the 3 of the wrist. Far wrist.
Cold. What the hell, man?
Dio jerked his arm back with a shout. Don't see anything glowing. Phi's bracelet is clean, so is mine, of course.
That leaves only Dio.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I'll explain in a minute. Just show me your bracelet. Something wrong? Just show it to me. Come on, Dio. We don't have time for this.
I have to do what you tell me to.
Because I'm trying to prove you're innocent.
Oh, like hell you are. I don't know what you're looking for, but you're not gonna find it on me.
Then just show me your arm.
No,
Dio's not gonna cooperate.
you don't get to order me around. I have rights.
As he spoke, Dio made a break for the exit. He didn't get far.
I'm afraid I can't let you do that, Dio.
Spun around toward the other exit. Stop him.
Don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
All 3 of us left at Dio. You have a real animation there. I knew it. His bracelet's glowing. Then that means...
Let me go.
Yeah, was it really necessary to do that animation now that the animation budget ran out and you just have a stationary image?
Get off of me, you fuckers.
Dio, you killed the old lady.
No. You don't understand. This is all some kind of a mistake. Shit.
What's going on here? I think it's about time you gave us the full story.
As quickly as I could, I explained to Phi and Kay what Kay and I had noticed in the old woman's wrist.
So the person with the bloody bracelet would have to be the person who killed her.
Yeah, exactly. Even if they'd wiped it off, I figured the luminol would still react to the blood. Looks like I was right. Now, is there any way that this isn't the case? Or did we just figure out who 0 is? And does that potentially mean that the flow for the remaining of these stories is going to be fairly pointless? if that was the case, I'd almost want it to just fill in a lot of these blocks and say, hey, just skip this stuff because it's not going to be any different. But it also might be a case that the story changes and he turns out not to be the killer in a lot of the timelines. Because these are potentially alternate realities. We've got you, Dio. Might as well confess. Well...
Alright, fine. You caught me. I did it. I killed the old bitch and took her bracelet.
Are
Why?
you Zero?
No. I was under orders. I was sent here to do something.
So, we did in the first game have a guy who was working with Zero and then got betrayed very quickly. So this guy could be working for Zero, or he could be potentially working for some other secret organization or something against Zero. But if that was the case, that still really wouldn't make him a good guy, murdering an old lady. To do what?
Who gave you this order?
I'll die before I tell you.
So your orders were more important than Alice and Luna's lives?
Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I killed the old lady, but that's it. I don't know anything about what happened to Alice and Luna.
That wasn't you?
Tread carefully, Sigma. This man is not to be trusted. He has already shown he is willing to lie and kill.
Come on, I'm telling the truth.
Hmm.
You gotta believe me.
Even if we do believe you, you're still a killer. You just haven't killed as many people.
Exactly. He should be restrained somehow. If we leave him be, he may well kill again.
But where would we put
Is
him?
there a room we can lock or anything?
I mean, you can lock him potentially in a treatment center or anywhere, but if he's not included in the voting, then he's killed.
Ah, perhaps we could put him in one of the treatment pods. Once we've locked it, he should be unable to escape.
And that might also stop his heart enough to release the bracelet and keep him alive. Oh yeah.
Hey, wait! I'll be good, I promise.
Yeah, I think you're onto something, Kay. Let's go with that.
Come on, please. Hey, listen to me.
We'll let you out when the white doors open. Someone's gonna need your bracelet to open the secondary door.
Fuck with me, you guys. There's no way in hell I'm going in that thing. Let go. Let me go.
See, this probably is just gonna end up in a bad end.
God damn it! I told you assholes to let me go. You can't do this. Stop. Stop. Please stop.
How many lines of dialogue are we gonna get
No, you can't.
of him begging?
Ah!
There's a clock on the inside of that one.
Open this fucking thing!
I guess also that potentially might be a puzzle in which you have to lock yourself in there, and we now know that there was nothing in that bed.
I said open it, goddammit!
I don't think so.
You're gonna pay for this! When I get out of here, I'm gonna fucking end you!
Kind of feels like it would be nice to potentially eliminate a lot of people that way earlier on in the story. Yeah, getting rid of Dio for most of the branching paths would have been a little bit more ideal, because he really has not contributed in any of the stories. So yeah, wouldn't expect a reason to want to keep him around. So I guess we figured out who the murderer was. We found Quark.
Now all that's left to do is find Clover and Tenmyoji.
Yeah.
Why don't we head back to the warehouse and start from there? They may have already returned.
Good
Let's
point.
go.
They still need to probably do the Luminol on the other two people, just to make sure they weren't murderers, although it is also possible, had they sprayed Luminol all over the bodies of everybody, then you might have gotten blood stains on the hands, wrists, clothing of another murderer. Yeah, the white doors are on the opposite side of the where the number 9 door would have been on floor A, and the blue doors that you come in by are in the same position as where the doors on floor A would have been, which almost suggests that on floor A there might be some secret doors where the white doors are on this floor. Huh? Looks like they aren't back yet.
Perhaps they went to look for us.
Oh man, now we've got to go look for them.
How much time until the white doors open?
Let's see, we've got 15 minutes. Do we even have a good pair between Vi and Kay and Dio? I don't think we do.
Then I don't think we really need to hurry yet. Why don't we wait a little longer? For all we know, they're on their way back right now.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. How long to wait, though? Okay, and I nodded.
By the way, there was something I wanted to ask you guys about.
Oh, yeah?
Quarks Bracelet.
Yep.
When we found him in the pod, he wasn't wearing it. Why?
How should I know?
Presumably, it had been taken off before we found him.
So we have no idea where it is.
Nope.
I see. That's not good. Without that bracelet, we won't be able to continue the game.
What?
We need 3 bracelets to open the secondary door. If we lose one...
Oh no. We wouldn't be able to go through the secondary door. Who would be pairing up with Quark?
Quarks Bracelet should be a red solo. That would mean he'd be with the cyan pair.
Who's the cyan pair?
Clover and Tenmyoji.
Interesting. So apparently we might be still safe. Although maybe not.
The 2 people who are missing.
Quarks Bracelet is gone, and his 2 teammates have disappeared.
What's going on? Does that mean Clover and Tenmyoji took the bracelet?
Well, if they found Quark before you did, yeah.
Why would
there's a good chance
Tenmyoji
they did.
take the bracelet and leave Quark though? Then why aren't they back yet?
Perhaps they've already gone through the white door.
What? No, that's not possible. Primary doors haven't even opened yet.
Perhaps someone opened one of them. I
How?
don't know. But it's happened before.
Has it?
Remember the 3 doors on the other side of the green door? Someone made one of them open.
Yeah, there does seem like there is some kind of secret way to open these doors that is not been revealed.
Perhaps this is the same thing.
But that's against the rules.
Yes, I know. But if the person opening the doors is Zero Senior, do you really think the rules matter? Zero
Good question.
Senior controls the entire game.
So are you saying Clover or Tenmyoji is Zero Senior?
Could be.
It is a possibility. It would explain why they still haven't shown up.
Could they really have taken Quark's bracelet and gone through one of the white doors?
If they did, we wouldn't know where they went until the doors opened up for the rest of us.
So I would assume.
Why wouldn't they just take Quark with them, though, unless Quark is really sick? This is still all just speculation, though. Maybe we should go look for them again. One of us can stay behind so that we don't miss them and if they come back.
I'll stay.
Vi
Sigma and
stays.
I will go see if we can find them then.
We're pairing up with Kay quite a bit here.
Make sure you get back 5 minutes before the door opens, all right? Oh, and don't forget to bring Dio with you.
Of course. Of course, if somebody gets murdered now, if like Fi got murdered, then that puts Dio in the clear. But if we find Clover and or Tomoji did, then that doesn't really put him in the clear. He could have potentially killed some people. And before we caught him, this is Pantry.
So it would appear.
Well, looks like they're not here.
When we started looking for Quark, they were sent off to search everything beyond the red door,
I didn't even really see a safe in this room.
which would have meant this room.
Not gonna do us any good to hang around here, though. Let's head upstairs. See that fairly pointless point there? You could have easily just said we searched the pantry and found nothing, and then jumped to the next section that something was actually going to happen. We haven't done the pantry escape room, so there's still a lot to learn, and there's plenty of escape rooms still to do. I kind of feel like there should be an accelerated version of this game just for perhaps uninitiated Westerners that would just let you do all the escape rooms and skip all the dialogue and story. But I doubt the game makers would really appreciate making a mode like that. At least for the first gameplay mode. No one here either. Tomoe loves scotch so much I thought we might find him drinking some. We had just heard Quark say that. And Tomoji say that. We really didn't see any actual evidence of it. It was around this time that I noticed Kay was acting strangely. Now, did I just say Tomoji loves scotch so much because that happened in this timeline? Or did I just mention something that happened in a different timeline? I think, yeah. No, that would have happened in this timeline, somewhere around this first branch. That we would have seen the scotch comment made. He was staring at the shelf of alcohol in a way that probably would have, that I probably would have described as blankly if I could have actually seen his eyes. Hey, what's up? You want a drink?
Oh, no. Well, I would enjoy a drink. But this mask.
Right. Sorry, that sucks. Honestly, I'd gotten used to the suit. I kind of forgot you were wearing it. Why the heck did they make you wear that thing anyways? You still don't remember anything?
Well, actually,
apparently he is remembering some things.
I did remember a little.
Really?
Yes,
What did you remember?
my father.
Well, father is an indication of him potentially being human, although we already know the AI basically called Zero Senior their parent. When Dad, you remember that? Did it just pop out of nowhere? That was supposed to be did, unless this is supposed to be a pun.
Please, don't joke. This is serious.
Sorry. So you remembered who your father was?
Yes,
What about your mom?
I don't seem to have one.
Oh, so your dad raised you.
Well,
Case stopped for a moment, then calmly folded his hands in front of him.
I was raised in the facility where my father worked.
So, yeah. He's got a little bunny doll. And it seems like we're going to get interesting backstory here that's potentially going to reveal the key, the thing that we needed to know to put in the password eventually on the right path.
He was the only person who worked there, which meant he was the only person I saw until I was older. That had been the situation for as long as I could remember, though, so I never thought it odd.
He wouldn't allow me to go near him while he was working, but the only times he wasn't working were the times when he was sleeping. As such, the only communication I had was with the education software he'd given me. I suppose I was a fairly expressionless child then. We developed body language to communicate with others, and with no one else to communicate with, I suppose it makes sense. Once I learned to read and write, I began to realize that my situation was not normal. Many of my books mentioned a mother as part of a family, and then several mother, father, and children would eat meals together and talk to one another. Soon I found myself longing for a mother of my own, someone who would always be with me, who would scold me if I did something wrong. At night they would read to me before bedtime. If only I had a mother like that, I thought I would be happy. I think it's worth mentioning here, there's no reason why this dialogue is not voiced other than they ran out of voice acting budget. Because this is not Sigma talking at all. This is all backstory, very important backstory that should have been way higher priority than most of the 3D animations and a lot of the other voice dialogue that has happened in the game. And yet, as soon as they get into a big paragraph of text, they decide to not voice it. So for the first time in my life, I asked my father for something. He had finished working, and as usual was making his way towards his bedroom when I stopped him and asked for a mother. He looked at me silently for a long moment before finally responding, "Okay." I remember to this day how happy I was at that moment. A few months later, he called me in his laboratory. It was first time I'd ever done anything like that. My heart was beating quickly as I stepped inside. Standing next to him was a young woman, and my hopes soared. But when he said her name, or rather her ID number, they were dashed. He had given me a robot to play the part of a mother. I didn't want a mother that was just a machine who did what a human told her to. When I told my father that, he looked surprised for the first time in my life. Then he frowned, coughed, and admonished me for being a whiner. He'd never scolded me for anything before. At first I was surprised, then angry. Hot tears streamed down my face. My father ordered the robot to take care of me and shoot us out of his lab. See, this really feels like K pretty much is just an early prototype of robots, and the golems eventually became later prototypes that I guess are more efficient and usually have skin over their skeletons. The robot was very convincing, and she smiled and spoke as if she was a real person, but I refused to answer her and locked myself in my room. This mother potentially could be Phi also. You can talk to a robot and it will respond, but in the end you're still talking to a machine, not a person. If that was what I wanted, I had the education software my father had given me. When I ignored the robot as it tried to take care of me, it looked sad. It couldn't really be sad, of course. It was only programmed to look that way. A robot's facade of sadness doesn't mean anything to me. After that, just big old wall text here. I stopped expecting anything from my father. We'd never really spoken to begin with, so it was easy enough for me to make sure we never saw one another. I lived my life as if he didn't even exist. Perhaps it seems strange to you that I continued to live with him, but I never considered leaving. Perhaps in the hidden depths of my heart, I longed for a relationship with my father. Everything changed when I was 18. I left my room one morning to find a woman standing outside of it. Well, it's a blurry image, hiding something. She was the first human I'd ever seen apart from my father, and I was understandably surprised. For a moment I thought my father had created a new robot, but when I told her that, she laughed and explained she'd come to help him. As it turned out, she was a very mysterious person. She was much older than I was, but something about the way she behaved was almost girlish. She would tell me stories about the world outside in such a way that was never I was never sure if she was telling the truth or making up fantastic lies. Ultimately, though, the truth didn't matter. I loved their stories. She wasn't helping my father directly with his research, so I spent most of my days with her. Before long, I discovered she'd known my father when he was young. She told me stories of how he'd fallen in love with as a younger man, and I began to imagine that person he'd fallen in love with had been her, and that she was, in fact, secretly my mother. After she settled in with us, our long-established routine began to change drastically. First, we started to eat together. Before then, I had never shared a meal with anyone in 18 years. She scolded me for my table manners, or more accurately, the lack thereof. If I was going to eat with others, she said, I needed to be more polite. Having eaten alone for my entire life, manners had never been something I'd even thought about. My father got in trouble too, when he made the mistake of reading through the research papers during dinner. The look of surprise and embarrassment on his face made me burst into laughter. I couldn't remember the last time I'd shared a laugh with my father. It might have been the first time. The room we considered our living room changed to, or it had just been another room. If you look in the background of these images too, you can see that it is pretty much this warehouse. But she made it comfortable. After we finished our dinner, I would sit on the sofa and relax with her and my father. Those times were the ones I cherished the most. For a little while, every day I got the family I'd longed for ever since I was a child. At her suggestion, I started to help with my father's research. He specialized in genetic engineering, and I discovered I had an interest in it as well. Time faded away as I lost myself in research. Now that we were working and studying together, my father and I had a great deal to talk about. For the first time in my life, we'd begun to speak with one another like father and son. Big, giant wall of text. And my fear, certainly here, is that we still have a whole bunch of novel section potentially after this. Whenever I impressed him with something I'd learned, I had felt a surge of happiness, and it drove me to study even harder. This would be the one point where going in auto mode would be a mistake also. My days felt full and right and meaningful, but most importantly I was happy. And then here we're seeing pictures of somebody that looks like they might be slightly dressed as Dio, and a lady that looks like it might very well be the old lady. 4 years passed in the blink of an eye until one day I happened to overhear my father and the woman speaking in the laboratory. Their tone was serious, so I listened closer, curious to know what they were talking about. That was when I heard her say that she planned to give her life to achieve their goals. It was clear that she wasn't being metaphorical. She would have to die. I was in shock. The research I had thrown myself into would lead to her death. I asked my father to stop his research immediately. He refused to listen. She agreed with him. She told me that she had been prepared for what she had to do since the day she came to our facility. My father had known about it from the beginning as well. Angry and disappointed, I began to investigate what exactly the research I'd been helping with was working toward. Perhaps I thought I could figure out a way to keep her alive. I discovered much more than I'd bargained for. To begin with, I learned that the ultimate success of my father's research would require a good deal of sacrifice. I also learned that my own existence was just another part of his project. I'd been created to function as my father's spare. If he died during his research, I was intended to continue in his place. I was stunned. I was furious with my father, and with her, and even with the research I poured myself into for 4 years. There was only one thing to do: destroy the facility and end my father's horrible research once and for all. I made plans to destroy the main reactor, and with it the entire facility. But she saw right through me. My father was livid and locked me in my room until his research was complete. All I could think of was how I might stop him. She did her best to convince me that I'd misunderstood and that everything would be fine. As much as I wanted to believe her, I remembered in the back of my mind that she had been the one who had pushed me to become involved in my father's research. Had that been an earnest desire to give me something to do with my life, or still, I couldn't help bring myself to hate her. She had given me a reason to live. Even if she had conspired with my father to mold me into his replacement, the warmth she'd shown me had been real. She made me feel as if I had a real family, and that was something I wouldn't have given up for the world. Man, just like 20 minutes of a wall of text. I pleaded with her to leave, but she quietly shook her head. There was something special to her, she told me. There was someone very special to her, she told me. He had saved her life once. She felt her depth would help him repay the favor. It would be funny if it turned out that this woman is actually June, and the scientist is actually the main character in the first game, Junpei. She would have liked nothing more than to marry him and live a happy, normal life, but she couldn't for his sake, she said, and for the sake of the future she had wanted. She was determined to see my father's research succeed. See, if that is the case, it does imply that somebody probably knew the disease Radical 6 was coming before it happened, for one reason or another. I realized then that although she was the most important person in my life, there was something more important than me in hers. She tried to explain that beyond what we could see was a future where no one would have to die, but I refused to listen. What good was a potential future to me? It was what I had now that I wanted. I couldn't stand to think that she would have given her life for a man I'd never even seen. Yeah, so I shut myself off from the world. Perhaps that's why I lost my memory. Man, that was just way too long. You could have easily broken up that flashback into 4 sections spread across a much longer period of time. Kay let out a deep, tired sigh.
I'm sorry.
And now we're back to him being voiced.
I lost track of time. Not having any
It's
memories
okay.
is less than desirable, but it could be argued that regaining them is almost more taxing.
So you remember almost everything.
No, the details are still indistinct, especially more recent events.
Yeah, I really doubt that that woman was Junpei, though. Or June. Yeah, that would be a little too weird even for a Zero Escape game.
Sigma, I'm sorry, but would it be alright if I laid down for a bit?
What's wrong?
I don't feel very well. It must be because I remembered so much so quickly. My head feels like it's going to explode.
Are you okay?
I think I just need to rest.
Okay. Take as long as you need. I'll go look for Clover and Tomoya.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
So, he tells you this long sap story, then he says he needs to lay down, which then that convinces you to split up, letting Kay potentially escape/kill you, which would be very believable because remember we did betray him, and so we really shouldn't be trusting him as much as we are. Kay loaded himself heavily onto the red sofa in the corner of the room. Well, guess I better get moving then. Stepped out of the room and nearly ran into Phi. Yeah, they pretty much don't want you to be alone in any part of the story because, well, then nobody's there to talk to you, and that defeats the idea of a visual novel. What are you doing? You're supposed to be waiting back at the warehouse.
Yeah, I know. I just decided to go check on you guys. I waited a long time and nobody showed up. Judging by your face, you haven't found them either.
Like, are we... Did that even move us to another novel section? Not really.
Damn.
Yeah,
Where's Kay?
he's in the
You
lounge.
decided to split up?
Well, not quite. Instead of waiting for my answer, she opened the door to the lounge and walked in. So, this is like seconds after you just walked out.
What's up with him?
I guess he's not feeling too well. He said he wanted to rest for a bit.
Is he alright?
I think so. We should leave him alone right now, though. Remember, there's a real person inside that suit. I'm sure he's just tired.
Tired, huh? How are you feeling?
What?
I feel tired just looking at you. Your face is like a week-old sock.
Really? Well, I guess I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little exhausted. I mean, all of a sudden I would wake up trapped in some weird-ass game and then dead bodies start turning up. Honestly, I'm amazed I've managed to hold on to my sanity for this long. Just about everything here makes absolutely zero sense. The more I try and figure out any of it, the more I feel like my brain's going to melt and run out my ears. You know what I'm talking about, right? We managed to figure out who the killer was, but there's still 100 other questions we have no idea about. Where the hell are we? Why are we even here? What's this whole Nonary Game thing for? And what is Zero Senior up to? Hell, who is Zero Senior is? The rabbit said he was one of us, but... Do you think it's Dio?
Who knows?
Besides, we still don't know why Dio killed him. He said that he was ordered to do it, but... And there's more, too. What about the old lady? Who is she? What's her deal? Hell, what are any of our deals? I don't know anything about anybody here. I don't even know about you, Fi. So are we gonna get some revelation about Fi?
Are you serious? You can't honestly suspect me, can you?
No, that's
I'm
not
just
it.
like you. I was kidnapped on December 25th and brought here too.
December 25th. What year? She trailed off. Question mark? Was that a gunshot? Are we gonna introduce a gun? You heard that, right?
Yeah, it came from the hallway.
Let's go have a look. Yeah, they're not saying what year. And I feel like different people could have easily been kidnapped on different years. Maybe they got on the
Let's
elevator.
try hitting the button. If the door doesn't open immediately, then we'll know the elevator's downstairs.
So they did go downstairs. Do we really need to wait for the elevator to actually rise up?
Thought so.
Let's go. It's probably not the best idea to immediately run towards a gunshot, if that's what it really was. Which color door do we go through? Which way? Where do you think they went?
Let's just head for the green door.
Why?
Because the treatment center's there. That's where Dio and Quark are.
Yeah, it would be safer to double check their safety, I suppose. So?
You aren't worried? I just want to make sure they're safe.
Yeah. They're fine. Tomoya or Clover probably made that noise. Well, maybe both of them. But I don't think they'd hurt Quark or
Are
Dio.
you sure?
Huh?
Dio admitted to killing the old woman, but he still insists that he didn't kill Alice or Luna. What if he's telling the truth?
Are you serious? You're gonna believe him?
Doesn't matter. I just want to know if they're safe. No harm in being careful.
Yeah, she's right. ... Alright, fine. And just 2 doors open still? And we head to the first pod. I cracked open the top and lifted it back. That's an odd angle for the camera. There's Quark, sound asleep. See?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I was probably getting worried for nothing.
Now if you open Dio's
How about Dio?
pod, he'll probably jump out of it. Let's open his. Is he gonna be dead in there? So there are multiple ways Dio can die. Notice his bracelet is missing.
Check his pulse.
What the heck? Check his pulse. His bracelet's fallen off. It's right next to it. It was pointless to check his pulse. He was obviously dead, but I did anyway. Yeah, he's dead. So did they suck all the oxygen out of that on accident?
Look. The oxygen level for his pod says 0%.
Then that means he asphyxiated. But why?
Someone must have tampered with the pod and lowered the oxygen levels.
Who? Kay?
Look, we should go tell Kay about this.
There's a picture of a lion eating a sun over there in the background.
Come on, let's...
Without waiting for me to follow, Fi turned and ran off. I took a deep breath and followed. This is the exact reason why you shouldn't have left Quark in the pod. Finally, I burst into the lounge and ran up to Kay. Kay, wake up. Something's happening. When he didn't move, I grabbed him by the shoulders and shook. He twitched and quickly sat up.
What is it?
We explained about how we'd found Dio dead and how it looked like he died of his lack of oxygen. It appeared that someone had reduced the oxygen level in the pod to 0.
What? But why? I thought that Dio was the one who killed the old woman, Alice, and Luna. Then who killed him, if he was the murderer?
Good question. Somebody killed him and didn't even bother to take his bracelet. The only people who could have done it are Clover and Tomoya.
There's also Quark.
What? No. That's impossible. They suggested Quark woke up, opened his pod from the inside, killed Dio, then went back to sleep.
I'm just saying that strictly speaking, it's a possibility.
It is a possibility.
So just, you know, take it into consideration.
Well, in that case, Fi, I hate to say it, but doesn't that mean that you could have done it?
True.
Me?
It also might be that Kay can control things in this facility, and so he can lay down and potentially connect to the mainframe and turn off the oxygen remotely.
Yes. You could have done it any time after Sigma and I left the Floor B warehouse.
Don't give me that. I was waiting for Clover and Tenmyoji to show up. They never did though, so I got impatient and went to find you guys.
More and more we're seeing people dead.
Then I bumped into Sigma in front of the lounge.
But they can't really finish a storyline with only 2 people surviving, because at that point you know the other person is the killer, assuming Sigma's never the killer. And they, in the first game, they were willing to do that and just tell you straight up that it was like Clover that became an axe killer and killed everybody. But I don't know if they're gonna do it in this game. Feels like they're trying to kind of avoid that and leave more mystery up in the air for a longer amount of time. She went on to explain about the sound we'd heard.
I see. So you heard something. Then perhaps it is likely that Clover and Tenmyoji were at fault.
Were the 2 of you together the whole time you were investigating?
Yes, we were.
You never split up or anything?
Nope.
In any event, we don't have a great deal of time to discuss it.
We have 7 minutes. And we're missing, I think, several people's bracelets.
All right. Let's get back to the Floor B warehouse. Maybe Clover and Tenmyoji are already there.
Oh, where is Dio's bracelet?
Is what?
Huh?
You didn't take it? Dio was a green solo. Phi and I are the magenta pair.
Shit. You're right. Without Dio's bracelet, we won't be able to open the secondary door.
I fear not.
Then we need to hurry. We'll drop by the treatment center on the way back and grab the bracelet.
All 3 of us don't need to go. You 2 go on ahead. I'll get the bracelet.
All right.
You're all going the same direction,
Oh, one other thing.
and it doesn't really matter.
I need to give you these.
The yellow pair of bracelets. Or these Alice and Luna's.
Yes. Without these, you would be stuck.
That's the case for Sigma.
So, here you are.
And Kay took his sweet time to hand you those.
Please, take
He could have done that a lot earlier. I grabbed the bracelets and then shoved them into my pocket.
All right, let's get going. Poop. Still not Maybe they
here.
did go through the door, like Kay said.
With Quarks Bracelet?
Or
Or what? Oh, come on, man. Better not be giving me the maybe they're already dead poop. I've got enough of it from Dio. You've got to be kidding me. This isn't funny, Phi. If you're right, then you, Kate, Quark, and I are the only people still alive
hey,
in here.
lay off. I want to believe they're alive too, but
We heard the noise and turned. And if you hear the bells, it's
I apologize
Kay.
for keeping you.
did you get Dio's bracelet?
Well, technically, yes, but
Huh?
best you just see it. This is what I found in Dio's pod.
Dio's pod
What?
is a smashed bracelet. Is that because they sucked all the air out, all the atmospheric pressure? Or is that because somebody else has been murdered and they swapped the bracelets? That bracelet doesn't look like it's open either. What the heck?
I assume whoever murdered Dio did this.
But why? There's no point.
I can't say for sure, but if I were to guess,
It'd be funny if it still worked. They might as well try.
Chromatic doors have opened.
Like they really don't have any other option.
5 minutes remain until chromatic doors close.
with a bracelet like this, I doubt we can get past the secondary door.
The scanner may totally not care if it's broken.
That means Kay and I will.
Oh no, Poop. You're gonna.
When the time comes, those 3 doors will automatically close. If anyone is left outside after they close, they'll be penalized.
Yep, this is a part of the rules that really needed to be written down in the archives, which we've not done any gameplay in so long. We haven't had to really come back to the archives at all. We're still in the same novel section.
I see. That's what they wanted. Whoever killed Dio wanted to use the game to kill me and Kay. That's why they broke the bracelet.
Yeah, it really is a smart move. They could have been doing that with all the watches going for Alice and Luna's watch also. But I guess maybe that opens a dangerous scenario. Probably not, though, because I doubt the watch on Zero's wrist actually would kill them.
I think so.
Although we do now know that the bracelets will kill some people, so they do actually have poison in them.
It makes the most sense.
How can you be so calm? 5 minutes you're gonna be...
Go on ahead, Sigma.
If we do see the fact that Clover and Tomoji was killed, and it does at some point turn out that not all the bracelets actually do have poison in them, then that, I guess, inherently would mean Tomoji and Clover were bad people.
You have those bracelets Kay gave you, right? You should be able to get through the secondary door with those.
Is there some other combination that would work? I don't know. Would there possibly be a way in which, like, could I get in the escape room and solve it in 5 minutes and let them in? Probably not. The timing doesn't probably start until after the first set of doors close. Could they go hide in the scanner room of the floor A chromatic doors instead? So they technically would be not outside of a chromatic door. Probably not. Their best bet is to run back to the treatment center and put themselves in stasis, which they don't really know how to do, or stop their hearts some other way. That's the best they can do.
So just...
Poop that. You know I can't just ditch you guys like that.
If you stay here, you'll...
You think I don't know that? But what kind of monster am I if I just leave you here to die? Arg. Darn it. This was bad. What was I gonna do? I needed to calm down. Just calm down. Calm down and think. There had to be a way to save them. There had to. Interesting. And that just leaves us with the to be continued also. So, where are we on save files at this point? We have not gotten a single actual ending in any of the story. How can Phi and K be saved? Lock number 1. Director's office solved the mystery of the two-headed lion. Can't solve that. So it feels like the way this is all going to break down is we may literally just stop right about here in every path until we get some kind of clue that would bring us back to this way. And it probably is just more strategically wise to keep going forward and get a lot of these to be continued sections, and then later on move forward. The next step here would be to rewind almost all the way to the first decision, the first AB game, and instead of deciding to vote, well, let's see, into the CDs. I don't even know what that means. You vote betray, and then that's going to be a lot of storyline in this direction that probably could be fast forwarded quite a bit until we get to this point, and then we'll probably have a dead end on this side, and then probably have a potential ending that we can get, or maybe not an ending that we can get at all. But even once we've done all of those, let's just run the numbers here. We would have done 6 of what looks like 18 paths. So we would have been somewhat a third of the way done as far as the endings, but not really a third of the way done if we have to just go through a whole bunch more story sections. And certainly getting that big wall of text in as far as backstory with oops. It decided just to reset the whole game to me. So if you just hit B, you start back at the beginning. Alright, so that was not my intention by any means, is to reset the whole story. But I guess that does go show where that goes. Specifically.
We don't have time to talk about this.
So memos. We still have all the memos. And then archives. Yeah, of course we have all the memos and archives and things. I don't think anything that you would unlock would relock. We do know that there is a slightly different pattern on one of these two paths that would have been to go through the red door. Is it possible that it's wiser to do that right now? Or is it better to go through all of this? Let's see. Blue door. Green door. Let's go jump here before we wrap up. As I swallowed, Alice and I will go through the red door with Clover, and you can see it's not marked as a choice. So we should go back and do this. Alice and I will take Clover and go through the red door.
No.
He just says no.
I cannot allow you to do that.
God damn it, Kay. We don't have time for this.
Choose a different door, please.
He stood in front of the red door, solid and immovable in his metal armor. Didn't think I could force my way past him, and I knew I didn't have time to try. Oop. There were 2 doors left for me to choose from, but which one? And see, these are potentially the exact same story at that point. Alright. Alice Kay, the blue door.
Right.
We should hurry.
Took off toward the door in the run. It comes back over my shoulder, see the others, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah.
1, 0. Chromatic.
Alright, now, as soon as we get scanned out here, let's see if that just puts us in the exact same path. Because I feel like that pretty much did, unless there was a difference because of a slight pause there.
It appears they are all locked.
Like, we are now just on the blue door path again. Yeah, that just feels like... Let's see.
Looks like the thing next to the number 9 door.
We just go skip. And we just skip the whole thing. And then it wants us to seek a way out. Let's see. At a certain point here, like, So, if we were just gonna try and skip all of this, let's see, star, sun, star. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Just immediately put in the code without solving anything. Probably won't say anything at all around that. Hmm. And you can't really skip this dialogue. Just use this. It is just the same dialogue, even though we did absolutely nothing in this escape room. And I don't see why that would unlock the true path to this. We're running back to warehouse A. We see Dio. We see the injection gun that they don't do anything with. Go back to the lounge. This skips too fast, frankly. We get back to the rec room, looking for people. Then we get back to the warehouse, looking for Quarks, just still looking for Quark. We see the two, Alice and Luna, being dead. A lot of conversation, a lot of fighting. It doesn't really seem like anything is different. And then it's just going to come down to our choice once again. And see, unless there was just one brief sentence that was said differently. Like, it does not seem like the story is going to change any different at all because I tried something different. Yeah. I would much more be willing to believe that this is a case where we only are able to save Phi and K by figuring something out on a completely different timeline, not just make that slight change. And even when you're skipping here and it's just moving at this hyper speed, you still can tell that there's just a huge amount of text here. Like, and see, this is inherently a problem for me as far as how many visual novels I really would want to ever cover and how to cover visual novels, because it's just such a massive amount of text. Way more than pretty much any Western game, unless you were going to play something like Skyrim with a mod that has even more books than come by default with Skyrim, and you were going to actually read all those books. Even the books in Skyrim also barely have 5 pages on average. Right.
Someone made one of them open. Perhaps this is the... Yes, I know, but if the person opening the doors is...
Okay, we're still searching. And then we still need to find... Just see how long fast forwarding through this section takes. Yeah, even that went by in a flash. So, is it possible that Kay smashed the bracelet when he went to get it? So we're back to where we were. Would there be any difference?
Hey, lay off.
Let's try and move as fast as possible, tapping the A button. Yeah, if K is untrustworthy and he smashed the bracelet, I don't know why though. That wouldn't save him.
Did you get Dio's
And his
bracelet?
actions in other timelines seem to only be around saving himself.
Well, technically, yeah. Best you just see. This is what I found in Dio's pod.
What?
That still is worth trying. Better to have the doors lock you in one area than
I
another.
assume whoever murdered Dio did this.
There's no
I
point.
can't say for sure, but if I were to guess,
Chromatic door, 5 minutes.
with a bracelet like this,
That means Kay and I.
See. And I imagine this is just going to end on a to be continued
That's
also.
what they wanted. Whoever killed Dio wanted. That's why they broke the break.
I think so. It
And
makes
there's
the most
one
sense.
more path we could go and see, but it's kind
Go
of
on ahead,
pointless.
Sydney. You have
Like,
those bracelets Kay gave
I'd
you, right?
almost
You should be
certainly
able to get through the
assume I
secondary
would not be
doors.
able to go through every single dialogue path, even though there aren't that many in the game,
So just
without a lot of struggle and extra gameplay, which this is a game that really cannot
But if you stay here, you'll...
motivate me to play it even more. And I want to have as much of an accelerated experience as possible for this, and that isn't much. Calm down and think. And so whenever he thinks like this, would there have been a solution we would have known? No. Not at the moment. It definitely does feel like there could definitely have been situations where you would have potentially never run into these to be continued sections. But then we kind of would never know that they existed in the first place. Yeah. So, yeah, no real reason to zoom back to that point. It would be instead zooming back to round 1.
we don't have time to talk about this.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and save just so we're absolutely certain that we know where we are. An AB room. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.